Do you know the man who stole $1 billion in a single day without doing anything illegal? No fraud, no insider trading, no tricks. He just looked at one of the most powerful countries in the world, saw a crack in the wall, and pushed. The wall collapsed, and he walked away with over $1 billion before the sun went down. His name is George Soros, and what he did in 1992 is one of the most insane things that has ever happened in finance. But first, you need to understand who this man was, because this was not some random guy making a lucky bet. Soros was already one of the richest investors on the planet. He ran something called the Quantum Fund, a massive pool of money from the wealthiest people in the world. Billionaires, institutions, old money families, they gave him their capital and he invested it. By 1992, his fund controlled billions. And when you control that much money, banks will lend you even more. That is how he was able to make a $10 billion bet. Not with his own cash, with borrowed money, backed by the fortune he already managed. Now let me explain what he actually did with it. In the early 90s, most of Europe agreed to lock their currencies together. The system was called the exchange rate mechanism. Every country promised to keep its currency within a fixed range. If it dropped, your central bank had to spend whatever it took to push it back up. Britain joined in 1990, and almost immediately it was a disaster. The British pound was set too high. Way too high. The economy was struggling. Unemployment was climbing, and the Bank of England had to keep burning through billions just to hold the pound at a level that did not match reality. Picture this. You are holding a boulder above your head, and you promised everyone you can hold it forever, but your arms are shaking, and everyone can see it. George Soros saw the shaking arms. He did not see strength, he saw a bluff. And he decided to call it. What he did next is beautifully simple. He borrowed $10 billion worth of British pounds through his fund. Then he sold every single one of them at the current high price. Why? Because if the pound drops, he can buy them all back cheaper. The difference between what he sold them for and what he buys them back for is pure profit. But at $10 billion, he was not just betting the pound would fall, he was heavy enough to push it down himself, and the Bank of England knew it. On the morning of September 16th, they panicked. At 10:30 a.m., they raised interest rates from 10 to 12%, an emergency move to make the pound more attractive. It did not work. 2 hours later, they raised rates again, to 15%. In one morning, they nearly doubled the cost of every mortgage, every loan, every business in the country. Millions of people affected, just to try to stop one man. It still did not work. Now here is the detail that tells you everything about Soros. When his team called to say the Bank of England was fighting back, he did not pull out. He did not get nervous. He told them to go bigger. By 4 p.m. it was over. Britain announced it was leaving the exchange rate mechanism. The pound crashed. Soros had sold 10 billion pounds at the morning price. He now bought them back at the new, much lower price. His profit in that single day? $1.1 billion. One man, one day, 1 billion. Completely legal. The newspapers called him the man who broke the Bank of England. British taxpayers lost over £3 billion defending a position that was never going to hold. But here is what nobody expected. He was right. About everything. After Britain left the system, the economy actually recovered. Interest rates came back down. Growth returned. Many economists now say that Black Wednesday, the day Soros broke the pound, was the best thing that happened to Britain in a decade. The man the newspapers called a villain accidentally did them a favor. Soros did not lie. He did not fake a single document. He looked at a promise the math could not support and bet against it harder than anyone ever had. The lesson? When a government promises something the numbers do not back up, the numbers always win. And someone will be standing there to collect. Next time, a 24-year-old college dropout built a crypto empire worth $32 billion, then lost everything in 72 hours. Subscribe. That one is next.